What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again talking college football. And today it is week 6. We have the Thursday night game between Sam Houston State and New Mexico State. If you like this content, please consider subscribing, leaving a comment, leaving a like. All those things are free and they help the channel a ton. If you have a request for a game later in the week, an under the radar game for Friday, let me know in the comments below. Last thing, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Conference USA weekdays are back. And tonight, Sam Houston State takes on New Mexico State. Sam Houston State is a 2.5-point road favorite, trying to get their first win. The total in the game is 52.5. To get here, Sam Houston State has played the more difficult competition. They lose to Western Kentucky in week 0. Probably should have been worse. That score was 41-24. A couple weird things like Western Kentucky muffing a punt, giving Sam Houston short fields. They lose to UNLV in week 1. Got crushed in that game. Some quarterback weirdness. They played Matauer a little bit. He threw a pick 6, so maybe could have been a little better, but I don't know. Week 3, they play, or I guess week 2 for them, they play Hawaii, and they lose 37-20. Got crushed in yards per play. Both teams had their backup quarterbacks in there, so that was not a good data point. And last time we saw them, they played Texas and got slaughtered. Those are all pretty good teams, including the G5 team. So a tough road for Sam Houston to this point. New Mexico State has played significantly easier competition, and it's been up and down. They beat Bryant, FCS Bryant. They beat Tulsa, a game they probably should have lost. They had a 44% post-game win expectancy. Tulsa really did everything they possibly could to lose that game. They had 4 turnovers in New Mexico State territory, including 2 turnover on downs and 2 interceptions. After that, New Mexico State goes out and gets blown out by Louisiana Tech. That was a little weird, the opposite direction. The yards per play was very close, 6.3 to 6.9. Louisiana Tech had 21 fourth quarter points. So, yeah, New Mexico State should have lost, but the score probably shouldn't have been that wide. Then last time out, we saw this team losing by 18 points to New Mexico. Pretty sound loss for them. Nothing weird in the box score. As far as injuries for this game go, Sam Houston State is pretty healthy, at least among players we expected to contribute. New Mexico State has some guys questionable. They've lost some contributors. Mekhi Lee on the offensive line tore his ACL. He was their best offensive lineman. Kai Wheeler missed their last game. And Mateo Rodriguez played limited snaps. I'm not sure if we see him, but a couple offensive line players to watch. On defense, 2 linebackers, Sonny Ipui and Tyler Martinez, went down. That's a good position group for this team, and there's not a lot of good position groups, so they need to be monitored. Dejon Stanley at running back got hurt as well, but I'm surprised how bad they've been running the ball. He's a Utah transfer. We'll see on him. But so Sam Houston State, they've got a new coach in Phil Longo. He's running an air raid offense, which doesn't mean you pass every play, doesn't mean you play at the speed of light. It's a conceptual air raid offense, so they're actually a little slower. Maybe not as pass heavy as you'd expect an offense like this to be, but their quarterback's just a bad fit for the offense. It is what it is. Hunter Watson has a 56% completion percentage, 5.1 yards per attempt. Still no big-time throws, 2 turnover-worthy plays, which makes sense. He's a runner. He's not the best thrower. And he's only at 3.6 yards per carry on the ground. 9 sacks taken. Pressure rate's high at 36%. Not getting much from his pass catchers. They have a drop rate of 10.4%. It's kind of just a bad ecosystem all around, and he's not a good fit for the offense. So it's kind of been ugly at times. Mentioning the skill players, I mean, this running back room, they don't have a single ball carrier with 100 yards yet. We're 4 games in. Hunter Watson leads the team in rushing, followed by Landon Brown at 98. And then you go to the receivers, their top pass catcher has 133 yards. That's also a running back. It's Elijah Green. This pass game's a disaster. The run game's a disaster. The actual receivers, who leads the team? Grady O'Neal at 87 yards. Malik Phillips at 60 yards. For an air raid offense, they don't seem to be completing many passes. Now, the offensive line is not good. It wasn't expected to be good, and they're still outside the top 100 in pass blocking and run blocking. You can say they have faced some good pass rushes. Texas is what they are, but even Western Kentucky's 31st in pass rush. UNLV's 74th, Hawaii's 59th. Those are all better pass rushes than what New Mexico is going to bring and what New Mexico State has faced themselves. There are a couple good returners on the offensive line that have some experience, like Rhett Larson, Colt Dieterich, and James Dawn. This is supposed to be a better position group for them, and I think largely it is just competition has been a little better than what they are so far. All that to say, I do think in matchups like this, Sam Houston has an easier time moving the ball, but there's still a lot of concerns here, including offensive scheme for the quarterback. Skill players are bad. Offensive line is bad. It's just they need to be a little better than New Mexico State. So can they be? New Mexico State's defense is 102nd. They were expected to be pretty bad, a little better than Sam Houston, but still not that good. They've yet to face a top 70 offense, and they still grade poorly. They allowed 11.1 yards per attempt to Blake Baker of Louisiana Tech. They allowed 11.1 yards per attempt to Jack Lane of New Mexico. They've been slightly better on the ground, but even Louisiana Tech got them for 5.6 yards per carry there. We mentioned it, linebackers really their only strong position group. Luckily, Torrey Geathers is still healthy because that's a banged-up unit. Their D-line is okay. Ezra Christensen's been decent on the inside, and their biggest concern is their secondary. So that sort of it leads to a clash. Sam Houston wants to throw. They're not very good at it. New Mexico State is not very good in their secondary. So where does this all come out? On the other side, Logan Fife has been under duress a lot. He has a 54% completion percentage, 7 yards per attempt, 12 big-time throws, 10 turnover-worthy plays, and they've only been converted to 4 interceptions. He's not mobile, and he's already taken 15 sacks, and the pressure rate's 30%. It's very high. His wide receivers also have a drop rate of 10%. So it's not a good ecosystem for him either. I think the run game should be better. There's really no excuse for it to be this bad. They have Kadarius Callaway. He's a Cal transfer. They have Dejon Stanley. He's a Utah transfer. He's banged up right now, but those are still good transfers. Kadarius Callaway leads the team with 80 yards rushing. 80 yards. He's at 2.7 yards per carry. Now, they're trying to run a version of the air raid themselves, it seems. They're very pass-heavy. They're very fast. I wouldn't say their pass catchers are elite, but at least you have 3 players over 200 yards in Donovan Falpo, tight end Gavin Harris, and P.J. Johnson. That's a decent passing attack. They just haven't had much time because this O-line is bad. They don't have a single player above average. They're 131st in pass blocking, 102nd in run blocking, and they've dealt with some injuries, losing players like Mekhi Lee, their best player. The one maybe redeeming quality, they've started to mix in some other players like Santos Valdez played at center. He actually was a slight improvement compared to what they've been putting on the field. I'm not going to look at one game from Valdez or some of these other offensive linemen and suggest that this unit is vastly improved. It's probably not, but at least there's that opening. Maybe it will be slightly improved, that is. As for Sam Houston State's defense, they played a lot of pretty good G5 offenses. Western Kentucky's not bad. Maverick McIver was at 7.9 yards per attempt. UNLV is not bad. Their defense is horrible, but their offense is good. Anthony Colandrea was at 10.8 yards per attempt. From there, Hawaii played a backup QB, and then you face Texas. I will say their run defense is a little better than their pass coverage. Their pass coverage comes in 120th. They don't really get after the passer. They're 100th there. That opens the door for New Mexico State to potentially move the ball if they can keep Logan Fife clean and throw it over these DBs. But even the run defense, you could poke a hole in this. They've played a little better on the ground, but still 4.7 yards per attempt to UNLV. And then Hawaii and Western Kentucky are air raids. They like run and shoots. They don't run the ball at all. So you have kind of 2 studs on this defense. Jameer Diaz has been good on the defensive line. CJ Brown, he's the Bowling Green transfer in the secondary. But other than that, you can throw the ball over the top of this defense really without question. So coming into the game and looking at the spread, we show value on New Mexico. I feel kind of bad about this. Anytime we show value on a Conference USA game, these are really volatile contests. And I especially don't like the fact that Sam Houston State has the significantly better strength of schedule to this point, even though they've gotten blown out in most of their games against that better competition. New Mexico State has been very up and down against weak competition, which is just tough to parse. As far as the other situational spots, you have the bye week for Sam Houston. That definitely helps. As far as the total goes, you know the game is being played fast and pass heavy for both teams. So you could potentially look at an over. We actually make the total 53.5, so we don't show a lot of value there. Just coming into the year, had New Mexico State as the better team, even just because largely of all the departures and change for Sam Houston State. I played it. I played actually at 2, so we have a bad line here. It's 2.5. I do not feel good about this. I've considered buying out. I do not believe I'm going to, but we'll see. Best part about these Thursday night games, you never know what's going to happen when Conference USA takes the field. It'll be exciting. It'll probably be gross. You'll probably turn on the NFL at some point, but if you like college football, this is like MACtion. These Conference USA games are awesome. But that'll do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. It is much appreciated. If you have comments, again, leave them below. We'll take them and do the Friday video. But until then, good luck, everyone. We'll see you later.